Okay, what's up? Here's how to create razor sharp focus and get the most out of your time every single day. First up, you have to understand that focus is force. Focus is like a laser. If you're sharp and all of your energy is going into one single thing, it is extremely easy to cut through anything and win in any realm of life. Most people, their energy is going into 10 different areas all at once, whereas real breakthroughs happen when all of our brain power is going into this one core thing. It's at this 85% plus, 90% plus level that real breakthroughs happen because all of our brain power is aligned and shooting to solve our problems. To understand focus, you have to understand dopamine. So if we play video games, if we scroll social media, if we watch shows, drink, go out a lot, anything of this nature is going to release way more dopamine than doing any kind of productive work. Here's an example. So I used to play a lot of chess and my brain would just be hijacked by chess. I would be solving problems in my head all the time, seeing all of these patterns, and I wouldn't be solving my business problems, through my subconscious. My subconscious would basically be forced to solve chess problems because that's what was getting me the most dopamine. As humans, we used to only get this type of dopamine by either, hunting down a boar, foraging a large collection of berries, or doing something great for the survival of the tribe. Nowadays, this mechanism is completely hijacked, where our brain is no longer optimized for achievement. It is optimized for whatever generates the most dopamine. And in modern society, these things are rarely aligned with one another. This is why we have to sacrifice the little things so we can achieve the big things and start to get natural dopamine from our productive work. You have to understand that our brain will always default to the next thing in line. So once you keep these things all away from you, you can get to a point where your work will be the most fulfilling and productive thing, which will also make your life a lot more enjoyable. Deep work. So we have to understand how to get into deep work to get high quality work done. There are two ways of thinking that our brain uses. So system one is the mode of thinking which is fast, it's automatic, and it's intuitive. It is what we mostly do for our day-to-day living and automated tasks, from walking and driving to recognizing faces. System two is another type of thinking which is slow, deliberate, and analytical. It demands focused attention and cognitive control, but it is what we need to solve complex problems and make the best judgments. The problem with this is that it takes the brain 23 minutes on average to get into this deep, focused system 2 thinking state. And so to produce the highest quality work, we have to be completely uninterrupted. Studies have shown, however, that the average knowledge worker gets interrupted every 11 minutes. So this is why people that master deep work can get up to a 500% increase in productivity. There's a study that shows that average performers versus high performers, the high performers in highly complex tasks have a 500% increase in productivity. This means that high performers can literally accomplish what average performers can achieve in a week all on their Monday. So flow state. System 2 thinking can be made parabolic by combining it with flow state, which carries many similarities. Flow state offers a state of heightened focus and immersion in any activity, enhancing System 2's deliberate analytical thinking. In flow state, the prefrontal cortex, which is responsible for critical thinking and self-awareness, starts to quiet down, and it allows for faster decision-making and action. Flow state is literally what facilitates integration of thought, action, fulfillment, and enjoyment all into one thing, and so it's a great place to be working from most of the day. There's 8 triggers that enable us to enter flow state. The first thing is challenge. So the task at hand has to balance our skill and its difficulty. It has to be significant enough to engage us, but not to cause any anxiety and overwhelm. Then secondly, motivation. So we have to have genuine interest into the task and its accomplishment, and it can be enhanced by 6 more things. The first thing is clear goals. So we have to know what to accomplish and why we want to do so. We have to have autonomy, so we have to be in control of our own tasks and decisions. Curiosity, so we have to be curious about the task. Mastery, so we have to chase mastery over a certain skill or domain that is relevant to that task. Passion, so we have to be innately interested in said thing, and purpose, so we have to find meaning in what we are doing. To actually enter flow state, there is a 4-state cycle called the flow cycle. The first part of this is a struggle phase, so most people rarely enter flow state and thus waste most of their time, because to do so we must push through some natural initial discomfort on top of just not being distracted, so we have to keep pushing through this discomfort. Second thing is release. So as we persist through this struggle, we build up neurochemicals like dopamine, which enable us to then pop into flow state. The first state is actual flow. So once we're on actual flow state, the prefrontal cortex deactivates and we can get into this flow state for several hours. You have to build up this tolerance. So when you first get into it, it can be shorter, but you can build up and get into longer and longer flow states. Last thing is recovery. So after flow, we have to replenish the neurochemistry involved, and we have to process the knowledge acquired during flow. And so we have to kind of take some downtime. For focus, we have to be minimalistic to some extent. The more minimalism you can include in your life, the easier it is to be focused. So I'm going to create a full guide on this, but for now, it's good to turn off all notifications, keep your phone away from you while you're working, only have windows and apps open that you actually need, keep a clean desk, room, and overall working environment, have an organized digital space, use apps like Newsfeed Eradicator, which takes away all of the news feeds on your social media channels, remove as many apps as you can, and have daily interrupted by any one time. Literally do not allow anyone to disturb you. Lastly, here are some focus enhancing habits. So the first big one is meditation. Obviously, if you're not doing it, you're really missing out. Keto and or a low inflammation diet, which I have a full guide on. And then also optimize sleep, whereas you have to understand that it's not about the hours, it's about the quality of the sleep.